What is the quotient of 1/2 divided by 3? Remember, a quotient is the answer to a division problem. We're going to paper fold and sketch this problem. To start with, I need to fold 1/2. And I'm going to take my marker and trace the fold, and then shade in 1/2. This is asking us to put this 1/2 into 3 groups and figure out what is the value of one of those groups. So I'm going to take my 1/2. I folded it so the non-shaded part is away from me. And now I need to put this into 3 groups. So in order to do that, I'm going to fold it into thirds. And then trace those folds. And I need to shade in one of those groups. So I'm just going to take it like I had it before, and so I can just shade in that piece. So now my whole, finish tracing. Instead of being split up into 2 groups with my 1/2, it is now split up into 6 units. And the area of my overlap is where I have both colors, and that is only in this area, and that is 1 of my 6. So 1/2 divided by 3 is equal to 1/6. To sketch that problem, I'm going to draw my hole, show 1/2 and shade that in, and then split my hole into thirds and shade in one of those, because I just want to know what one group is. And the area of my overlap is 1, and my hole is into 6, so I get the same answer. So it can look something like this for folding, or it will look like that for a sketch. Now I want you to look at 2/3 divided by 4. Go ahead and pause the video, and when you're ready, after you folded it or sketched it or both, go ahead and unpause and check your work. So to fold this, I'm going to do my burrito and crease the burrito. And that way I have thirds. And it doesn't matter if you fold it like I am this way, or you could have folded it into thirds the other way. But then I'm going to trace my folds. And I'm going to shade in 2/3. And then now I need to take these 2/3 and put them into 4 groups. So I'm going to take my hole and make sure it goes into 4 groups. So folding it in half and then in half again in the opposite direction of my original 2/3 folding. Crease my folds, open it back up, and trace the folds. And I'm going to shade in 1 group. I just want to figure out what one group is of those 2/3. My area of my overlap shows 2 of my units, and in my hole I have 3 by 4, so that's 12 units. So 2/12 is my quotient. So I could say 1/4 of 2/3 is equal to 2/12. And it would look very similar for my sketch. Shade in 2 of my thirds, and then split those thirds into 4 groups. And I need to shade in 1 of those groups. And the area of my overlap is showing a 1 by 2. And so that would be 2 units of my 12.